Hello, everyone. Today we are here today to learn about probability methods, and this is for NCEA Level 2, which is for Year 12 students, focusing on the standard AS 91267. So as part of today's coverage, some of the things which you might be learning about is tree diagrams, conditional probability, as well as looking at two-way tables and combined events. So let's see. First off, you would have to know some of the rules. So every probability question below is built from these 5 rules. First of all, you have to be aware that the range of any probability is always greater than 0 and it has to be less than 1. So the probability of an event can never be negative, nor can it be above 1. So the probability, it has to be, if you're standing on probability of A, look at it from this side, it has to be greater than equal to 0, but at the same time, it has to be less than equal to 1. So bigger than 0, but less than 1. So it can be 0.5, 0.4, 0.7, even 0.99. But it cannot exceed 1. So like if somebody says the probability of an event is 1.5, they're wrong. Probability can never be more than 1, nor can it be a negative. The next one that we have today is complements of events. Complement basically refers to the chance that it does not happen. So probability of not happening, so probability of a event not being A. So if you want to find that, you'll do 1 minus the probability of it being A. So 1 minus the probability of A will give you the probability of something not being A. The next one is the addition rule. Here, they would mostly be using the word or. So the probability of finding A or B, if you're trying to find A or B, you'll get the probability of A, plus it with the probability of B, then minus the probability of A and B. The reason they do this part is because when you subtract the overlap, this is mainly done so that it doesn't be counted twice, just to ensure that you do not double count it. So that's why you have to subtract the probability of A and B again. So it's not just plussing it together, you have to minus the A and B again. So that's when you would be given a question where you have to find probability of A or probability of B. They will be using different terms. This is just examples for you to understand. Then you have the multiplication one. This would be using the word and in it. So if the question says find the probability of A and B. So if you have to find the probability of A as well as B, simply multiply the two probabilities together. So multiply the probability of A and multiply the probability of B. So probability of B not being A. That's what it's trying to imply. You'll basically multiply along the branches of the tree. So this is mostly evident once you start working with probability trees. Then we have the conditional factor. So this is probability of A or probability of B. So you take the probability of A and B, then simply divide with the probability of B itself. So this will give you the chance of A given B has already happened. So this is the conditional one. Conditional one simply implies that the probability of one has already happened and you're trying to calculate for the other one. So these are some of the basic rules when it comes to calculating probabilities. Then we have combined events. So combined event, here you'd be looking at terms such as union, intersection, as well as mutually exclusive events. So we got union. Union refers to A or B, or both of them occur. So this is usually indicated in the diagrams with the U. So for that case, you'll add the two, then remove the shared middle. So if you must be remembering the rules previously where you have to add the two, then remove the shared portion just so that you do not double count it. So this is for the union. Then we have the intersection bit. For the intersection, this is referring to the middle portion. And that is indicated using the upside down U or the N. This is where both A and B occur. And this is referring to the overlap which is in the middle. Finally, we have mutually exclusive events. So mutually exclusive event refers to those events that cannot happen together. So just one of it would happen. So it's either A happens or B happens. So probability of A and B would be equal to 0. A probability of A or B would be, which would be probability of A plus probability of B. So one thing about mutually exclusive, when it comes to this kind of probability questions in year 12, level 2 mathematics, you'll be calculating a lot of this. Right, so then there's many more type of questions which you'd come across when it comes to probability. However, that's all from my end today. Should you require further videos on this or require tutorial classes, please do get in touch with Premium Tutoring and we'll be glad to take you through with how probability trees work, how you'd be calculating with examples, and so forth. Also, if you have a friend who may need help, feel free to share our video or follow us for more content and more tutorial videos. Thank you so much for listening in today. Goodbye.